Hey, this is Anthony Corder with Tora Tora, and you're listening to Blevins Station.
As I lay awake, there's a distant serenade that keeps calling out my name. We've all been seduced, the lies become the truth. They say there'll be no escape. Living in a world where the chaos reigns, pushing greed, preaching hate. We can't escape the beautiful refrain. Silence the sirens.
Blevins Nation Entertainment and BlevinsNation.com, the place to go for all the best in rock and roll music, new rock, and podcast. So sit back, hold tight, and open up your ears. The revolution is here. Now here's your host, Chris.
Hey everybody, this is Chris with Blevins Nation, and we are talking with Anthony Corder, lead singer of the band Tora Tora, and they are releasing a brand new album come February 22nd from Frontiers Records.
Awesome. Hey, Chris, what's happening, man? Thank you so much for letting me call in and talk to you, man. I'm so happy about this, man.
Yes.
Man, we're on cloud nine. We can't wait for everybody to hear the record. It was just such a crazy experience doing it and getting to do it together. You know, the original four guys, us, we've been friends forever, you know, since we were little kids, man. And Keith and Patrick's case, they've known each other since they were 8 years old or something. I mean, they've known each other a long time.
Yeah.
But it's just been, I mean, it was like being in a movie or something. It was crazy. Like after all this time to go in and do new music, and, you know, we've all been creative and doing projects, and that passion and creativity and all that stuff never goes away. But for all of us to get to huddle up again, kind of at this point where we are just in our life, and go in and take a little snapshot of what we sound like right now. I mean, we were kind of in the mindset of how you guys are, you know, like what's it going to sound like? What's it going to feel like? And, you know, of course we've been playing and doing shows and touring, you know, actively, I guess, since 2008, you know, doing one-offs around Memphis and the shows that make sense out at festivals and stuff. But to go in and like come up with new material and all that stuff, man, it was so awesome. It was just incredible. So we're thrilled. We can't wait to share it with everybody. And the process was amazing. So that's kind of why I wanted to call in and talk to you. Is we recorded it down at Sam Phillips Studio in Memphis. Yes. And it was just, we were standing in, you know, on hallowed ground, man. Places Bob Dylan and Robert Plant and Jerry Lee Lewis and Elvis and Roy Orbison and all these icons of the early rock and roll. And then, you know, Robert Plant's one of my biggest influences ever. I love them. You know, I know it's cliche in the rock world to say you love Zeppelin, but I mean, he was definitely a huge influence on me. And I was talking in an interview the other day, yesterday, and I just thought about it. I was thinking, like, I remember when I first heard Physical Graffiti, a neighbor, a lady from New York, had moved in next door to me, and we were living in Memphis at the time. We'd kind of moved all over the country. I'm from down in Mississippi, and I lived in South Dakota and Houston, Texas, and we were trying to work our way back to Mississippi and got over to Hattiesburg down in the south there by the coast. And then my dad ended up landing in Memphis to run the hub for Northwest Airlines. And that got us within an hour and a half of home, you know, down in the Delta. And so that's where I hit my teenage years, you know, ninth grade of high school. I got into music. I was listening to stuff. But anyway, this lady moved in and gave me Physical Graffiti, man, on the album, you know, vinyl. And I went in my room, and I'll never forget it. And I put it on a record player, and I sat down with my headphones on, you know, and had it wide open, you know, it's like as loud as it would go or whatever. And In the Light came on, and I didn't know what happened. I just said, oh my God, what is this? This is freaking awesome. Mm-hmm. You know, and I had heard all their songs on the radio and all that, but I hadn't like dug in and listened to records and stuff. And it just, I mean, as soon as I heard it, I was like, man, I want to get everything they're doing, and I want to dig in and hear these tracks that are on the radio. And he was definitely a big one, and Janis Joplin was a big one. But anyway, I didn't mean to get off the subject or whatever about the record,
fine.
but I just start thinking about it. All those influences, man, I think that they show on this record, and I think people will see that. The production of it and everything is real raw, and we did that on purpose. We wanted to go in and kind of cut it raw. And you hear it, like I hear it in my mind anyway. I can hear some old Aerosmith, just even that little slap back is on my voice. We did that when we went in to cut the first tracks of the record. We just went in, they had the microphone on, and Jeff threw that on, and I said, man, I love it. Let's just leave it. I just want to leave it on there because with the band, they were trying to get the rhythm tracks and stuff on all together. And they had me isolated in a booth. So we're all just looking at each other, and they're all in the room together looking at each other, And they said, if you get it, Anthony, great. And if you don't, or you hear something you want to fix, you can re-sing it or whatever. So we tried to go as raw as we could. And it's the closest thing to hearing this live, I think. Keith, there's not a tambourine on it. There's not a keyboard on it. I mean, it's just his guitars and him doing a solo. There's a rhythm track or something under him, and then me singing with like minimal background vocals. And it's the closest thing to our early EP when we were like 17 or 18 years old that we've done. So it was just fun. It was really fast. We did the whole record in about 6 days. So it was real fast, but it was just one of the most creative times that we've had together, and writing the record was amazing. So we're thrilled. I mean, I can't wait to just see what people's response is going to be to it. I don't know. We're kind of in the, nervous and in that anticipation side because it's been such a long time. We kind of want to know what people think. So
definitely been a minute, So
yeah,
but that's the cool thing, man. That not sure how long being away. If you'd have been away this whole time and not played out how the chemistry would have been, it might have even been better. Who knows? But
yeah,
it's still. It's awesome that it was still there and it was able to do that, especially 6 days. I mean,
man, yeah. We did a lot of pre-production.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Okay. We did a lot of pre-production, so we were prepared when we went in. I mean, we worked we signed with Frontiers in November of 2017, and so we worked up until the middle of the summer. I think we went in around June, like the middle of June, end of June, something like that. Mm-hmm. And, I'm a transplant. I'm up in Nashville. So I was we were working on logistics and schedules and, life and family and all that stuff. We were weighing all that stuff around, but that made it even that much sweeter to get to go hang. And the time that we got together, we couldn't believe how much stuff we got done because, we just went in and we said, okay, we're going to get in and get to work. And we had our friend Jeff Powell is the producer on the project. And we've known Jeff since the Wild America sessions. He was the assistant engineer for John Hampton and Arthur Payson. And he's known us for 25 years, man. And he actually reached out to me when we did a benefit for Patrick. We had talked about that in one of our other conversations, right. And we did a benefit, and some people showed up. Well, the whole community showed up was one thing that was amazing, but friends of ours showed up and got up on stage and said something about Patrick in between the acts and stuff. And Jeff got up and said something, and then a couple months later, he wrote me just out of the blue, and he said, man, I can't quit thinking about the benefit for Patrick. He said, when y'all got up, he goes, it's just a sound that y'all have. It's like the four of y'all, it's each one of y'all individually on your instrument, but when the four of y'all are together, it makes the Tora Tora thing, and I kind of been saying that in some of these interviews, but he said it, and he said, would you like to come and record with me? He was working at Sam Phillips. He was cutting, he's got a lathe machine there that he's cutting straight to vinyl. He said, you want to come cut a couple of singles? And he didn't know it. But at the time we were talking at that point, we had been talking to Frontiers, and we were like, man, we don't want to come cut a couple singles. We want to come do a whole project, man, when you have time. Mm-hmm. And so we were just thrilled we got to work with him. He had worked with, tons of talented engineers, but he came into his own and had been very successful. He worked under John Hampton, who was one of our favorite guys at Ardent. And, but he had also worked with Tom Dowd. and he learned a lot of stuff from him. That, and Tom was real famous for doing all the Muscle Shoals stuff and the Allman Brothers and Leonard Skinner and all kind of stuff. So
yeah.
It was just fun, and it made it, the camaraderie, and we were still telling the same stupid jokes from 20 years ago, and just having a good time, man, screwing around. And he made it real loose, even though we were under, a time constraint just because of our schedules and everything. He made it real easy, and it just felt like it was family, man. We were all there, and we were just cutting up, and I can't even tell you how much fun we had recording it. It was just, we were just on cloud nine the whole time we were in there doing it. So
that's cool.
It was awesome.
That's cool. Like I was going to say earlier, the two songs you've released already as singles, awesome.
Thank you.
You can hear, even though there's a difference, you still hear the Tora Tora sound, but there is a difference. It's not, for those that want to sit down and go, okay, I'm going to listen to 1990 Tora Tora, you're not going to get that. That's not going to happen. But you are going to hear Tora Tora. But 20 some odd years later, the sound has grown. The writing has grown. Your vocals are the same, but they're a little different. So
it was scary, man. The vocal part. I'm serious. I walked in and told Jeff. I said, "Listen, I'm not Wild America Anthony, or Revolution Day Anthony, or whatever." I said, I'm just different. When I walked into the rehearsal room and closed my eyes, they strum their instruments, and it's stale beer and cigarettes, and they sound like Tora Tora. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember this. And then I opened my mouth and I went, oh my God, I'm Anthony, but I'm 20 years a little bit further down the road, Anthony.
Yeah.
But it was real fun. We did acknowledge that, just to get it out of the big elephant in the room. I was like, man, I want to say something, just get off my chest. But Jeff was so cool, and he was just like, man, you know what? He goes, come in and just use what the good Lord gave you, and I'm gonna make you sound good. I think that was what he said to me. And I just said, okay. And he kind of just let the pressure off. He said, man, just go in here and have fun. And if we need to, we didn't use any auto tunes. You're going to know it when y'all hear the record. There's places in the record where, you would say, man, you could stick that in Pro Tools and tune it up real quick. But we didn't do that. We just said, you know what? It's going to sound like us. It's going to sound raw. And it was just fun. We laughed at each other, and Keith was in the room with me on all the takes and stuff. He sat there with me. I was there for over a weekend singing. I did like 5 songs each day, and Keith would sit in a chair, and Jeff was there, and it was just amazing. I'm not kidding. It was, I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this. You may have to edit this out later on.
All right.
But I'm just going to throw this out there just because I'm talking to you on the phone. But I got to sing my record in Sam Phillips' office. And if you don't know anything about Sam Phillips recording, it's like olive ground, and you never go upstairs. You can't take pictures up there or anything. But I sang my record in there because there was a legendary Stax singer, William Bell, was in the studio, and he had the big room booked the day that I was there. And I went in there, and I may have to get you to edit this out, but I wanted to tell you on the phone because I know you like this stuff. Uh-huh. I got to stand there in his office where he was sitting, man. It was like Mojo times 1,000. It was incredible. I'm not kidding. I was sitting there looking around. It's shag red carpet, white leather chairs that were kind of bent over, and each one of them had an ashtray next to it. It looked like he was fixing to walk in any second. And there was a 1950s TV set that had a little drawer that pulled out, and it played 45s. And Roy Orbison's 45 was still sitting on there. And I was sitting there looking at it on every take. I'd look down and go, man, my God, Roy Orbison's 45 is sitting here next to me. It was just insane, man. But what happened, Jeff ran chords up to the office. He surprised me. I showed up to the studio, and then he said, hey, man, I know that you wanted to record and be in Memphis to do the recordings and stuff. And he said, there was a scheduling thing, and I knew the schedule thing ahead of time, but I was like, stick me in a closet. I don't care. I'm coming to Memphis. I want it to be all Memphis, And he said, I want to show you something. And we went up there, and he showed me, and I just had a heart attack. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the most awesome experience, man. And I mean, I'll never forget it my whole life. It was just crazy. So that was awesome. I'll text him or something when I get off the phone with you, see if we can keep that. But I wanted you to know, because I know that you were digging around in the Tora Tora stuff, and it was a cool experience for me. But anyway, besides that, as we loop off the recording part, the voice thing was scary, and I had talked to him, and I said, I want to make sure that I give a good performance for the audience and all that. But it was fun. We went in some different tunings and stuff. So I mean, my voice does sound different. I mean, we're in open C on a couple of them, and Keeson some open tunings on his acoustic. And I mean, we got to be real creative, real fun. We were kind of experimenting around, and the recording process itself was really fast, just because we were dealing with time budget, of me being there and being available. I was just talking about the fans. We just had thought about them so much on this project that they had afforded us, the opportunity all the way to back to the beginning, man. We just played in Memphis on December 29th. And there were people at that show that had gone to see us play when we were playing in people's backyards when we were in high school.
Yeah, that was Minglewood,
still come
right?
To see us. Yeah, and it was just amazing, man. I mean,
I saw some footage from that, and great crowd, awesome crowd,
thanks,
and great sound, great. I mean, y'all did it up, man. Very
thanks.
cool.
It was a really fun night, and we had a band called the Dirty Streets that opened for us. It's from Memphis.
I
and
checked
it's a
them out,
rock band.
and I liked them, man.
Dude, they're good.
Yeah, definitely.
They're really good. They got some great. I mean, it's like they sounded like 70s rock, man. I'm not kidding. They sounded kick ass, man. They were awesome and really, really down to earth dudes. Really great players. But so we owe them a lot, for doing the show with us, and they brought in the crowd, and we brought in our crowd, and we had a party, man. It was fun.
Oh yeah, I bet. I wished I could have made it down for that, man. That would have been awesome. So
yeah, man.
So the everybody can check them out. Tora Tora online, especially on Facebook. Twitter,
yeah, you got
Instagram.
a Tora Tora Music, ToraToraMusic.com. You can go see us there at our website, and it's just we're super pumped.
Oh yeah, and the album drops February 22nd, and you will be able to get that at Frontiers, or I guess on y'all's website too.
Yeah, we're going to do it through Newberry Comics is going to provide a link that you can get. Right now, that is for pre-orders.
Right, and that's the is that a promissory thing, or what is it called? I forget what that's actually called.
It's we'll give you a link, and it's to sign CDs, and there'll be limited ones of CDs and vinyl, which I can't believe, man. We're gonna have vinyl. This is gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
this is crazy, and we're pumped about that. But yeah, then on February 22nd, we'll have it out on that, and we'll definitely have ways for you to get it through the website. We'll point you in the right direction for that.
Okay, very cool. Any gigs lined up yet that you can mention, or?
Man, yeah, we've got a few. We got some in the works that we're working on right now, but we're headed to Monsters of Rock February 23rd. So the day after the record comes out, we're going to head down to get on the boat with Tesla. Oh my gosh, Kix, King's X. Man, dude, I'm so excited. We played shows with King's X on our first tour, man, and I'm so excited to see them. They're still amazing. They're great musicians. So there's so many of them on there. I can't even list them. Just go to Monsters of Rock, man, and look them up. But we're super pumped about that. And then the end of March, we're playing Rocklanta with Bradley Entertainment's putting that on. It's a two-day event, March 29th and 30th, and you can get tickets at Ticketmaster.com. It's Rocklanta. Look it up. It's going to be great bands. Then we're playing M3. We've never done that before. It's up around the Baltimore, D.C. area.
So you're doing M3 too. That's I think it's Maryland, isn't it?
Yeah. We're excited about that. Awesome. And then we head out to Wolfpack Productions out in Colorado's got us coming out there to play in May. So that we got a few of those. We're lining up a couple of things that aren't confirmed yet. But as soon as we find out, we'll throw it out on our social media. That's the best way to follow us is probably through Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And you can always catch us on our website, but we're updating social media all the time. So
yeah, definitely. Okay, and very cool, man. So
So this, you got February 22nd. Is there going to be another single released, or just the two?
Yeah, man, I'm super pumped. We just shot a video in Memphis.
Really?
It's for a song called "Son of a Prodigal Son," and the backstory of this is really cool. We actually went to Memphis and shot our video at Handy Hall, which is named after W.C. Handy. But it's the venue that we shot Walking Shoes in.
Oh, okay.
It's still on Beale Street, and we went in. Man, we've come full circle. We went back and we shot some footage of us in there, and then we shot some at Sam Phillips. And we can't wait for everybody to see the video. We worked with a guy, Wahid, at WA Films in Memphis, and man, he was awesome. He was so great, and he just gave us good direction. And I mean, it was. Man, it was emotional. You were back, and I had my sons with me, and I walked in there, and I said, man, I was your age the last time I was in here shooting a video. I was little like y'all, and they were laughing. Of course, they thought it was funny. But, you look around and think about, how much of life has happened since the last time we were in there doing something like that. And you're just like, man, this is just unbelievable. That Frontiers is amazing that they gave us a platform and a voice and a way to connect with our audience. So
that is awesome.
We can't thank them enough for that opportunity. And then, for us, just as friends, just all the things that we've gone through and that we've known each other and life's happened, and we've shared some of the craziest experiences, man. It's like something, out of some story somewhere that we're just some little garage rock band. And I mean, Keith and I we were cutting grass, man, for my mom. She was a real estate agent when we were little kids, and we were riding around his truck going, wouldn't it be crazy if we could record some music and get it out to everybody? And, we hadn't even ever toured when we were talking about all that stuff. We didn't know anything about touring or anything. We just wanted to record and put some music out. And the next thing we knew, we were, in the studio, and we had signed a production deal with Ardent, and they shopped us to the majors, and we had a song out, and we were like, oh my God, this is happening, man. We're actually going to do this thing. So
I hope this happens. I don't know if it's how much has been talked about, but I talked to Todd Poole a couple weeks back, and he was talking about something may be tried to work, something may be in the works, if it'll happen, and blah, 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 for a Memphis three-headed monster or something like that. I forgot what he said.
Oh, yeah,
but man. I mean, Every Mother's Nightmare, Tora Tora, and Roxy Blue. That would be hell of a show, man.
We have known each other forever. All of us grew up together in the music scene, and we love those guys, all of them. I mean, the Every Mother's Nightmare guys, we actually toured with them back in the day, like when our records were out a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And then Todd, of course, we've known each other through the years in Memphis. He and I have actually gone out and done some acoustic stuff together.
Oh, really?
Here recently, and we've had a ball. We flew out. Man, it may have. I guess it's been a minute, but we flew out to Colorado for one thing, and we kind of did it where we were supposed to have separate sets, but we ended up just getting on stage together and like tell stories on each other. And man, it was so fun. I mean, we just got up and cut up, and he's awesome. He's a great writer. I mean, he's a great performer.
Yes.
I mean, and he's part of, all of them, or both of those bands are part of the heritage of Memphis. I mean, they grew up in there, and so for us to get to do something like it'd have to be, the right situation and make sense for everybody, and logistics and all that stuff. But yeah, that's definitely something that's on our radar, So it would be a big party for sure. It would definitely be a lot of fun.
It's kind of hard, I mean, my stuff's still growing, still getting bigger, I mean, I just dropped Mike Tramp today,
Oh my gosh, this is awesome. We were managed by the same people.
Oh no, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it was a company called Loud and Proud out of New York. On our first album, It was us, Taiketo, White Line, Overkill, and Mitch Malloy. All of us were under the same management company.
Wow.
And it's so funny. Like, I bump into Mitch here in Nashville now. He's been based out of here for a long time. And but we just laugh, man. I mean, when we first met each other, we were probably wasn't even old enough to go in the bar. I don't think I was. And so, I mean, it's funny. We think about all the crazy stories and things, but just, super down to earth people. And Mike is incredible. He's doing his acoustic stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah, very cool. Very
so
cool.
That's great.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll keep that in mind too for up here. The you and Todd thing, doing acoustic thing. If I could work that out.
Oh yeah, man, definitely.
Even full band. I mean, either way, I'm still going to be working on that. I just got to get this Blevins Nation Bash in April, the first one done.
Oh yeah, I've seen it, man. I've been watching you online. It's awesome. It's really good. I'm excited for you.
I'm promoting the heck out of it. And today is my first year anniversary for Blevins Nation.
Oh man, happy anniversary!
Well,
and I can't believe I'm on the show with you for your anniversary. This is crazy.
I wish I could release it today, but too much editing and everything.
Got it.
But,
yeah.
Plus, you got to let me know too about that part too. So. Don't forget about that.
I'll text him. Yeah, no, that'll be fine. I think we're going to be okay. But well, man, listen, all the songs on the record, we can't wait to introduce them. We've let out Rose of Jericho. We got Silence the Sirens. Son of a Prodigal Son is going to be the next one. But there's a couple of really cool ones.
Is that S-O-N of a prodigal S-O-N, or is it?
Son of a Prodigal Son.
Okay, cool, good. All right.
It's real cool, and it's got some real cool imagery in it. It refers to some things that really happened to me, like when growing up and stuff, and then it's amazing. It's a lot of fun, and I think people enjoy it when they hear it. And the video is really fun. And then, but the title of the record, "The Bastards of Beale," we got this. There was an article on this back in the early '90s. A lady named, I think her name was Sherry Sloan, wrote an article for. It may have been. Anyway, we got this title off of that. She wrote an article. I think it was for Rep Magazine.
Okay.
And she called us the Bastards of Beale, and so we. The Bastards of Beale Street is what she said. So when this title came up, we were running some things together and ideas around, and we said, "Hey, man, that kind of fits the idea for this record." And it was just the title. And when we started, Patrick, our bass player, actually came in with some music, and we were like, "What are we going to do with it?" And I just had been working with Keith, writing on some lyrics and stuff, and there was this book that was written called Beale Street Dynasty. And it talked about how Beale Street became what it was. And there was a guy named Robert Church. The yellow fever epidemic had come through the Delta and stuff and wiped everybody out. And there was nothing left really. And this guy named Robert Church, this black gentleman, went in and bought Beale Street. It was nothing but like a street of dirt. And he built Beale Street into what it is now.
Wow.
Like he brought in like W.C. Handy, the trumpet player that wrote, Beale Street Blues and all that stuff. And anyway, there's a lot to the story behind Robert Church. He kind of lived a wild lifestyle at first, and then he ended up becoming a community advocate to try to help people and stuff. So it's a really great story. But we took some of that influence and put it in the song. And when y'all hear it, man, I can't wait for y'all to hear the song. It's going to be so cool.
Awesome.
Because it tells about the history of Beale Street and how it's influenced people and stuff. So it's just fun. It's really cool. But that one's there. And then there was one other one that I just wanted to mention to you real quick. I know we got to hop off phone, but there's a song called Lights Up the River. It's the only ballad on the record.
Okay.
And Keith and I were working on this. He had this music and stuff. And he was reading an article, and this is so weird, that was on Sam Phillips. And this was before we knew we were going to record at Sam Phillips Recording or anything. But he talked about Lights Up the River. And he said the people that lived out in the rural areas away from Memphis, like down in the Delta, could see the lights up the river. They saw that as an escape from, their situation that they were in. It was a place where they could go and find success and make a better life for themselves. And so we took that concept and put it into the song. And man, all this time later, we said, we're standing in Sam Phillips' studio just to record this song that he was talking about in this article that we read. I mean, it blew our mind. We were like, oh my God, this is so awesome. This is like,
that's cool.
I'm not kidding. It was cool. So we can't wait for y'all to hear that one. It's cool.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we're excited just because it's the newest thing that we've done. Like most artists, when you do something that's whatever your latest is your greatest or whatever. But we just wanted to turn it on to people, man, and let them decide for themselves, let them listen. We're really interested to see what the public thinks, So,
well, the first release off of Bastards of Beale, I've been playing on my radio show on Rock 93X.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay, awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much.
I mean, the day it dropped was actually was Thursday, which was when I do my show, and I kind of, snuck it off.
Oh man, awesome! Thanks
YouTube.
For playing it.
And started playing it, so I didn't figure y'all would mind, So
yeah. Oh man, thank you so much for doing that.
Oh yeah,
and I hope it gets a good response. I hope people like it.
Oh yeah, man, definitely. I think they will. And from what I've seen, that interaction of it is people are digging it, and
good,
definitely keep up with the the online videos and stuff talking about this and that and other, because that just that's another avenue to reach people. So
that's true.
So yeah, man, definitely. Well, I know you're fixing to have to get off here, but
yeah,
really cool catching up with you and definitely learning more about the album.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much. Listen, man, I can't thank you enough for getting on the phone with me for a few minutes. We're super pumped, man.
Oh man,
and I appreciate everything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome, man. Listen, I hope you have a great night, man. Thank you so much for doing it.
You too.
Thanks for tuning in with Blevins Nation Entertainment. I want to thank Anthony Corder for coming on the show again from the band Tora Tora and telling us about the new album that's dropping. That's right, next Friday, February 22nd, from Frontiers Music. And the name of the album is called Bastards of Beale. So definitely go check that out. Go get it when it comes out next Friday. Going to be an awesome thing. Silence the Sirens is the second single off the album. The first was Walls of Jericho, and then they have a third one coming out. It's going to have a video with it, and it is called Son of the Prodigal Son. So definitely get ready for that. Get the album. Go to their Facebook page, Tora Tora. Go to Anthony's page. Look him up and look everybody up, Instagram and all that good stuff. Check out BlevinsNation.com. Check out Blevins Nation on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, you can download all the podcasts off of iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, FM Player, Google Play, and all the other download places. Spotify, too. Yeah. But don't forget, Blevins Nation Bash and Showcase, April 12, 2019, featuring Every Mother's Nightmare, Pump 5, and special guest, Cincinnati's own Counting Stars, with to be announced Monday. 2 bands out of the 22 bands that are competing in the online voting contest. If you want to go to that, go to Facebook.com/Blevins Nation. Vote on your favorite band that you want to be in the showcase, and they're going to be we will know who's there on Monday. So definitely check that out. And I want to throw a shout out to my sponsors, Buckeye Vodka, and you can check them out on Facebook, and Willis Music, and G4L Records, Highball Music, The Venue, Cincinnati, and all that good stuff. So remember, kids, wherever you go, there you are.